Well, the Batman star Robert Pattinson has once again addressed this long wait for the sequel, and it appears to me he's also getting a little frustrated. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about what Bruce Wayne himself had to say, when Batman Part 2 will start shooting, and if this is a sign of sort of bad things brewing behind the scenes. Now, Matt Reeves' The Batman was released back in 2022. Hard to believe it's been almost 3 years. And by the time Batman Part 2 arrives, it'll have been roughly 5.5 years since the first movie dropped. Now, there has been a ton of talk online about filmmaker Matt Reeves dealing with personal issues, and this very well could explain why the sequel hasn't taken shape quicker. Now, to be fair, the strikes in 2023 definitely slowed down the movie, but we all see all these other productions happening around us, and there definitely has to be other reasons why this movie hasn't moved forward. Now, since then, DC Studios was launched, and this definitely created a ton of confusion. Now, it's been confirmed over and over again by James Gunn that Robert Pattinson will not be the Batman of the DCU that shows up in The Brave and the Bold, and that Matt Reeves will have his own Batverse to develop this version of the character. This was followed up by the huge success that was The Penguin, and that definitely got fans more interested in their return. Now, we keep hearing over and over again about this production getting delayed, and that definitely has some fans convinced that the second film might not ever happen. Now, recently, Batman himself, Robert Pattinson, was talking with the team at Hero Magazine, and they flat out asked him if he'll begin working on the movie soon, and his reply was, well, less than inspiring. He actually said, "I effing hope so. I started out as a young Batman, and I'm going to be effing old Batman by the sequel." Now, if you remember correctly, the whole idea of this new franchise was to show Batman early in his career. They were actually referring to it as Year 2. Now, Pattinson is 38, and quite honestly, at this point would probably be a better actor to fit the DCU version of the Batman, who we know will be father to Damian Wayne, who will be taking up the mantle of Robin. Now, when he was talking at the Mickey 17 premiere, he was asked directly when shooting would start, and he said he's thinking at the end of the year, meaning they might not get in front of the cameras until late 2025. Now, if you ask me, guys, these are all, well, concerning signs. Until this movie absolutely starts shooting, I'm going to remain in a camp that is a little worried about the future of this franchise. I think we're really lucky that The Penguin was so well received, because had that flopped, I feel like it could have been used as the basis for just kind of ending this whole endeavor. James Gunn is definitely struggling dealing with these two Batman characters and making sure fans, at least the ones that aren't hardcore like many people on this channel are, that they fully understand what's going on and there are two separate characters. I think this will become more confusing as these movies move into theaters, and you're going to see more problems headed down the road. I also think Pattinson's attitude toward being a, quote, old effing Batman and how long he's had to wait, well, he is a highly in-demand actor who's very, well, selective about his roles. And I really would be surprised if this turns out to be a mess and they need to file some sort of extension with Pattinson because they had to wait so long. He might not do it, and that could leave the franchise without its star, and if that happens, I think it's dead in the water. Now Batman definitely will return to the big screen. The Batman 2 is set to release October 1st, 2027, so it is a long ways out, and if I'm making any bets, it could get moved again. This also means without The Brave and the Bold in production, well, we're unlikely to see the DCU Batman, at least in his own movie, until sometime in 2028, and that to me feels like an even bigger tragedy than having to wait this long on Matt Reeves' sequel. In any case, I'm a Batman fan. I want to see how all this turns out, and I am hoping for the best. I'm just concerned with all these delays and changes behind the scenes. This could be something that at a certain point, DC just cuts their losses, Reeves starts working on the in-universe version of the character, or maybe some side characters, and everybody just looks back on this as a great film that came out at the wrong time. But we're going to have to wait and see. Now, before you take off though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the real, truthful superhero news, and we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are really in the know.